I got the little spinny thing there, but I think we're live. Welcome to the Tesla Talks podcast, the Model Y edition, part 2. I know we had one last week with Ryan Schaub, but this time we have actually, Ryan had hands-on, but we have actually hands-on and drivers on and so many different things that our special guest tonight has done in the past week alone. Brian from i1Tesla, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us once again. Brian was on a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, or maybe even more. And he's well, we sort of paid him this time, but he's agreed to come back on, but that's because we paid him. And of course, we have our regulars. Starting on the bottom here, we got Mark from Tesla Backseat Baller. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
And Brian, just so you know, we're paying you in Canadian dollars.
Oh, great.
No, now he's gonna leave. Don't say that. I wasn't gonna tell him that till the end. And up at the top in the right-hand corner, we got Franklin, the Tesla mother flunker. How you doing, Franklin?
Good. Glad to be here, as always.
Yes.
Excited to be here this week because of Brian.
Yes.
Seriously. Yeah. Huge fan of Brian's YouTube work. Have been for a very long time.
Thank you.
Yes.
You do an excellent job for the community, so thanks.
And
thank you. Thanks for watching.
we can't wait till he rips that car apart. Even more. Even more.
My favorite part of your delivery video is where you're like, oh, we're going to take that apart. You're like, oops. And the service guy's like looking. And he's off video, but you can hear him laughing, right? It's like,
yeah.
He knew.
He knew.
Yeah, Corey's cool.
Oh, you know him, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get straight to it because we're going to try to keep this. If you're watching this live and you have a question on YouTube, just leave a comment. Oh, you know what? There's someone saying hi right now. Oh, it's Paul from Tesla Connect saying hi. If you have a question, just leave a comment down below and we'll get to your questions as soon as we can. We'll try to keep the questions till the end as best as we can. And if you got a question for any of our podcasts throughout the week or throughout the month or anything like that, and you don't see us here live, just hit us up at teslatalksquestions@gmail.com. You can leave your question there, and or any of the social media platforms I'm on. Let me know it's a question for the podcast, and I will do my best to get it. But let's get to what we're actually here for. You know what? Let's do a little bit of news quickly. With everything going on, and we won't touch on it. Well, maybe we should. Is everyone, friends and family and loved ones, everyone good at home with the world event going on?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Staying safe distance apart.
Yes.
The only scare is my wife works at a hospital, so she's
Yes.
around those people, and we have to make sure everyone's safe. Just use common sense.
Yeah, that's good. That's well, when you see Karen, thank her for all she does, because right now the healthcare workers, and I mean, there's so many people coming out of the woodwork that we're realizing that it is essential and should get paid more than they actually do. And that we can get into a political thing with superstars and movie stars, how much they get paid compared to everyday people. But this is where it actually pays off, and this is when we actually realize as a society how valuable people are and what they do. So yeah, thank her for us. And you guys doing okay? The Canadian contingency?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, can't complain. It gets tough, because you're used to your routine and, working and stuff. I won't get into the working because it's not like it's only my family.
Yeah. Well, we wish everyone the best. It's a tough time, but we just have to practice our diligence and some willpower, and we'll get through this. We'll get through it. Anyways, don't want to make it sound doom and gloom or anything. We'll liven things up. The first thing I want to talk about is, and it just came out like within a couple hours before we went live here, is your friend Brian Kyle from Out of Spec Motoring. He put up and I'll get to it. Let me see if I can pull it up right now, a screen share of it. He put up a quick little video, and I'm hoping it came out so quick. I'm hoping you guys all got a chance to see it, about Autopilot stopping automatically at red lights and stop signs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just to be clear, that's not.
I have a feeling.
Oh, it's not his car?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I thought it was his car. But okay, so he got it from somewhere. That's where I saw the link, and here it is. Here's the thing. Now, does that mean it's turned on down there in the States?
No. This is, I believe, I haven't spoken to him, but I believe it's a beta. It's one of the. It's got to be someone that working at Tesla that's, testing it out.
Oh, so maybe could it be like a leak, or is it like something, or a beta tester maybe even?
It could be a beta tester. I mean, I think they're having these out there. I mean, they got to test this stuff before they push it out to everyone. So yeah, it could be one of the beta testers. You're not supposed to do this, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know how that whole beta
doesn't stop anybody.
No, that whole. I have a friend here that lives nearby to me, and he was a beta tester. There was a acronym for it. I forget what it was. We're calling it beta tester, but basically that's what it is. And
early something.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Anyways, I know people.
Early access.
Early access.
Thank you. There we go. Between the four of us, we get it.
Yeah. 10 minutes later.
I know people at home are thinking, "You idiots! This is what it is," and they're screaming at their
they're like
screens.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know if you caught it. Third Row Tesla tweeted this out and said the next update's gonna have this. Elon Musk did retweet it.
Oh,
so
that's a confirmation I've ever heard one. Then,
yeah, it kind of confirms that it is coming in the next update. What that means, I don't know. Updates for Elon has always been different than our update schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Elon time.
Yes.
Not available in Canada.
And
I find that like he's obviously running his own software build, right? So he has early access to all sorts of stuff, and he'll be like, "Oh, the car does this." Meanwhile, like we don't actually have that yet, and it's like months later. But anyway, still something really cool to look forward to, and you'll notice a couple of things in this video.
If it ever plays, I'm trying to. It's just buffering. Sorry, I apologize. It's because we're streaming at the same time, and everyone's at home.
Yeah.
So the one thing I noticed in this clip, and it's not super long, but the car says it's slowing down for the intersection before it knows what it is, whether it's green, yellow, or red.
Yes, I did notice that too.
It's just in cruise control too, not
Oh, true.
Autopilot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. It is, and
that could just be a software thing, a bug for the beta.
Yeah.
Although it keeps going on and off.
Yeah, because it's popping up on that left once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see it on your screen right now? It's playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's grayed. It's not actually blue, right?
Yeah, it's gray. It's not. It's not on.
Yeah. So it sees the lane. It's not sees the lane, but it's not active. So.
Yeah. Well, that could be the road condition itself.
Yeah, I think there's a motorcycle in there that's not straight on; it's sideways, and you see the bicycle or the motorcycle in this. I think it's in this video. I saw another one too, but
that's the only one I saw. But that's exciting to know that it's soon.
yeah,
At least for you guys down south, it's soon. For us, maybe a Christmas present or something like that.
Well, I didn't get full self-driving on the Y, so
yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
I'll have it on the Model X then.
I was going to ask you. Well, we're going to go touch on that, all your experience and stuff like that. But while we're on that topic, and while you mention that, I'll veer off topic for a second. Have you noticed? Have you missed it?
The only thing I miss is auto lane change.
The lane changing, because you got to.
I wish they would offer that. I would pay money for that. But the summon and I never use Navigate on Autopilot. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
It changes lanes when I don't want to. So I just use the auto lane change. But now I've got 750 miles on it already, and that's going to the racetrack and tooling around out there. But when you change lanes, I don't know if all of you have full self-driving, but if you just put the turn signal on, it disengages and stays in cruise control, and then you can easily move over the lane and put it back in autopilot. It's just fine. It was not a big hassle.
Okay, so it does stay at least into TAC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you just give a light tension on the wheel, it doesn't like jerk out of autopilot. It'll just, as soon as if you have light tension and the turn signal, it lightly disengages.
Like a natural lane change. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So just curiosity, what would you deem? So I think all three of us have full self-driving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely do. What would you deem as like a fair price just for the lane change feature based off?
Well, everything seems to be in thousands. So I think $1,000 for a lane change would be, I think, fair. I think a lot of people would do that.
Oh, yeah.
Although Tesla would miss out on $6,000 more. So they won't do it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're right, Dave. as much
It's more curiosity than anything else, right? Hypothetical. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because you know why? I'm very curious, and you're the first person I know that that I've got a chance to talk to that extensively was familiar with, you know, nav on autopilot and everything like that, and went to no autopilot on your new car. Because I was thinking, like, if and when we do go up to the Y, I was thinking of leaving it off on that one too. Or not on that one too, but on that one.
I mean, $7,000 is a lot of money. And Kyle, who's been in a lot of my videos, he didn't get full self-driving on his car, and he's had his car 5 months, and he already has like close to 40,000 miles on it, and he doesn't miss it.
Yeah. Oh, on his performance, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we tried to get Kyle on because if you've watched Brian's videos in the last week with the Y, Kyle was there a lot and did some good videos on the efficiency for that efficiency trip. And I wanted to really have him on and pick his brain, but he had prior engagements on another channel that let's say, okay, I won't go into details. He's on Trevor's podcast right now, speaking right now. So that's why. Yeah,
I let him shoot some videos on the car because I was up at the track with him for 4 days.
Yeah.
He filmed my delivery, and then we went straight to the racetrack. And I obviously let him kind of review it a little bit. He's starting to make some videos for Inside EVs, or they started a YouTube channel, and I don't know if he's writing for them.
Oh, really?
But he's doing a little review on it. That'll be coming out next week. And then, of course, since he was there, he's in a lot of the videos.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's always good to see Kyle. And if you guys listening at home or watching at home don't know who Kyle is, you got to check out his YouTube channel. He has awesome road trip content. And when you want to talk about like getting to the nitty gritty and talking specs and tech and stuff like that, Kyle knows his stuff. Out of spec motoring, check out that channel. That I got that correct, right, Brian? That's exactly.
Yes, he's also the Cannonball record holder for EVs.
Yes, he is. Yeah, which was really cool to see. I don't think that record will be broken for a while. I know. I listened to him last week on his podcast with Trevor, and he seems to think it will be broken, but I don't know.
Eventually, it will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once V3 is everywhere on the path, it'll be broken. Right now, it can't be.
Yeah. And you know, what's the saying? Records are meant to be broken. So you never know. Okay, moving on to our next topic. Like I said, we only have 2 or 3 things in the news, and then I want to get right to Brian's testimonial stuff about the Model Y. So this one, I hate to sound selfish or anything, and chime in if you want, Brian, but there's not much here for you in terms of content. It's about the Canadian deliveries. Some people have been reporting, and I knew it was a problem in China, and there was, I think, a lawsuit out of it in China, that they're reporting that Model 3s are being delivered with hardware 2.5 instead of hardware 3. And like I said, I know in China, it led to some lawsuit. I totally understood the reason why Tesla gave in China. Now, here in Canada, I don't know if they have the same excuse, like shortage and stuff like that. I don't know. Are they? It's just, it seems like they're making a little more work for themselves than necessary. But if you don't have the part, you don't have the part, right? You want to get the car out the door. You guys have any opinion on it? You Canadian guys?
So, if they're buying the car without full self-driving,
it makes no difference. Yes, I get that.
Does it make a difference?
No, and I get that, and that was some of the issues in China too. Like, people were complaining that probably didn't need to complain. But oh, by the way, the story has been brought to you by Inside EVs. I like to credit every one article that I put up on the screen or that we talk about, and I seldom forget. It's a bad habit I'm trying to get out of. But yeah, sorry, getting back to the story. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have self-driving, then what's the big deal? But for the people, let's just assume that the people that are complaining about this are full self-driving purchasers. Do they have an argument?
I'd say if I'm paying for it, you know, I mean, when we bought our cars, we paid for it, but this was not available. We've been like kind of upgraded over the time. But if I was buying a car today and I wanted the whole full self-driving package, you know. But again, I mean, it's such a toss-up because here in Canada, well, we get to see cones. Oh, we can see the lights. It's cool, but if they're not of use, what's the point?
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that, Mark. You're right. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about cones here in Canada. I don't. Have you ever heard? I'll bring you in on this one, Brian. Have you heard of anyone in the States that has picked up a 3 lately that doesn't have hardware 3?
No, I haven't heard of that. I mean, the cones are just distracting anyway, and like you said, if you don't have full self-driving, what's the point?
Yeah.
There's not a big deal. And actually, I think 2.5 drives better in autopilot than 3.0.
Really?
It's more confident.
Okay, so Tesla Canuck Paul made a good point. He said in April 2019, Tesla tweeted that all vehicles from that day forward will have hardware 3.
But we know that was not correct.
Well, it's not just that, but I mean, like, I get that it's not a make it or break it. If you don't have the, if you're not having full self-driving, it doesn't matter too much. But even still, I mean, if you're buying a car, wouldn't you want the latest hardware?
You didn't say where.
That's true. Okay, fair. Brian, you a lawyer by chance?
No, I'm not. But you have to read between the lines on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Well, and supercharging is always going to be free. And what else was there?
Data.
Oh crap!
The data connection thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it's we as Tesla owners, and I'm guilty for it sometimes too. I try not to, but we're guilty for it sometimes too. You just take things for granted, and you get spoiled sometimes. Whether you have the right to complain sometimes, who knows? But it is easy. I can see it, and I'm not making excuses for the people that are being difficult. But it is easy to fall down that hole, right, and go down in that direction. Last topic before we move on, unless any of you guys have anything to add to that one thing we're talking about.
I was the same way. Listen, if I wasn't not in a rush to get 3.0 because I knew, again, that didn't give me any extra abilities. So, you know.
Yeah.
But I get it. It is a pain in the butt to have to purchase your car today, and if you did buy the full self-driving, bring your car in a future date. I mean, again, it's about less than 3 hours to get it installed, but still, it is a pain to get it done after the fact.
Yeah. No, you're right, and you're absolutely right. It's like, what's the rush? I can tell you right here. This is, and there goes my son, and he's gone. I can tell you right now that I don't have a hardware 3. I'm eligible for it because I purchased FSD, but I don't have hardware 3. And I'm in no rush for it. I want to get it eventually, and if I can guarantee you, and maybe it's stupid for me to not rush and then wait for the rush when it does hit. But if what we saw in that first topic and that video comes out where it stops the stop signs and traffic lights, yeah, then I'll be knocking on Tesla's door a lot quicker.
Well, it's odd enough that you say that. Since I saw that video posted, the stopping at lights and stuff, a lot of people with 2.5 that have paid for full self-driving are now coming out and saying, wait a sec, this is coming. Where's my upgrade, right? And I think the upgrades process is going to be slowed down a lot because of the factory shutdown and everything else. Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that there's actually people out there that didn't know there was a hardware upgrade program?
No. They know it exists, but they haven't been eligible for it yet. So they haven't got their cars upgraded. And now they're going to start complaining because there's actual, like, a useful feature that they're not going to have access to.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what Dax just said. If we were stopping at stoplights and Dax is not upgraded and he's supposed to be, then I'd start getting a little upset.
No, I mean, like, I'm seeing more people saying what you're saying, Dax, already. Just like in 2 hours since that video was posted?
Yeah.
Like, I've already seen it probably a dozen times where they're like, where's my upgrade? I want this feature. So, yeah.
Okay, moving on.
We're probably 6 months away, though.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Elon time, right? Well, we always got to go back to that Elon time. Let's just touch on our last topic really quickly, and then we're going to get on to Brian's experience with his Y. You named it Bobby, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure. the factory shut down at Fremont. Now, if you haven't been following last week, and I'm just going to chalk it up in a nutshell here. I'm not going to go into huge details. Last week, when the state of California had told everyone, other than essential businesses, everything had to shut down, and Tesla said that, or deemed themselves an essential service, or tried to say they're essential service or essential operation, and stayed going. And they probably, I think they got away with close to a day, if not a little bit more than a day. And then the sheriff's department came and said, nope, you got to shut down. And they went back and forth. They tried to negotiate. And you know what? There were some people that were saying online saying, yeah, Tesla should, because they have to stay. And you know what? A lot of people call me a Tesla fanboy. A lot of people say that, my wife is one of them, says that I think Tesla can do no wrong. Well, you know what? I call Tesla whenever I can, when they do, or when they actually do something. And in this case, you know what? I think, and I want to get everyone's opinion on this. I think that they should not have opened when that first order came out. They should have shut down. And to finish off my story, to make a long story short, they actually did shut down. And now, as of, was it yesterday or Monday, they've had to cease all operations. But so they've shut down, and they've sent all their workers home. And I think they have a skeleton staff. And now Tesla or Elon, he's helping out in the crisis as much as he can with ventilators and stuff like that. And the last tweet I saw earlier today, he's sending a bunch of stuff, PPE stuff, to New York, where New York's getting hit really hard. So that's good. It almost seemed like, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that and I'm going to stop talking because I seem to be the only one talking, and I want to get your opinions. It seemed like Elon wasn't, whether he was a denier about this or he wasn't taking this whole thing serious from the beginning, and now it looks like he's changed his opinion or changed of heart, or I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, he was forced to change his heart or change his mind, but I think he was just trying to get some more units out there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying hard with the different deliveries where you can pick up your car without speaking or touching anybody.
Yeah.
They're trying their best. I mean, everyone's doing stuff. I saw that the Tesla bros, they're starting to make face shields and send them out to hospitals. That's really awesome. People are stepping up to do things.
That's great. Yeah, we got it, because you know what? I hate to say it, and I don't want to get political, but I don't even know if this is political, but where do we get? I don't even know what percentage. I'm going to say a percentage. I don't even know if that's the real percentage, but let's just say a high percentage of our manufacturing goods from. It's usually overseas, usually China or somewhere in Asia and stuff like that. So I think this has brought to our attention that we need to do a lot, and we do. Don't get me wrong. North America, especially the U.S., but North America as a whole, we do a lot of manufacturing ourselves. But it just goes to show you we need to do more to have stuff in house and not wait for boats and planes and trains and everything.
I think I'm with Brian. He was kind of forced to shut down. Kind of a little bit off topic, but just to give you an example, and then I'll bring it back to Tesla, obviously. We have GameStop, which is just like a game company that delivers physical. You can go and buy physical games. They stayed open, and they were forced to shut down in Canada. They put out a letter saying that it is a necessity of life for people to buy games, that'll make people work more productively at home by going into the store and buying games. I'm not even joking. They're like, this came out from their CEO and everything. He gave the stores a letter, and they said if law enforcement comes in, give them this letter. So it kind of goes to show that people have a hard time understanding what's actually essential and what isn't. I'll give Tesla a little bit of credit, at least in their case. I mean, a car manufacturer has to make parts to do service repairs, because you still need people that are driving around. So like gas stations are open, for example, because people need gas, right? You still need people to drive around. So if a doctor owns a Tesla, let's say, how are they going to get to their work if their car needs service? So, and I mean, under extreme circumstances, okay, I can understand why he would think it's an essential service, but I can also understand the perspective where Mitchell, for example, saying he was wrong, that he should have closed, right? So I don't know, it can go both ways, but it just depends on your viewpoint.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
Was it GameStop or was it EB or is it the same thing?
GameStop owns EB. So EB existed, and then GameStop,
Okay.
the U.S. company, got so big, came in and bought them out. But,
Okay, yeah, because you know what? I was in Toronto the day, I want to say Friday, the day one of the big games, I think it was Animal Crossing or something, was coming out. And there was a lineup. I passed by on the road, and there was a lineup. And I was like, if I wasn't driving, I wanted to take a quick video. I'm like, what's going on? And I didn't know at the time it was Animal. I'm not into games and stuff like that. So I didn't know. I didn't find out till I got home. It was actually on the news. And it's like, are you kidding me? And of course, when there was probably about 10 or 15 people lined up, but there was no social distancing being practiced like there is a week later, like today is. But
that thing was selling like toilet paper. Like,
yeah, go to the grocery store. There's not really social distancing there. Everyone's fighting for toilet paper or looking for hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's to Elon's credit though. He did say if you feel sick or if you don't want to work for any reason, don't come in. He wasn't forcing anybody to work their shift. So, I mean, you can look at it both ways, really. But some people wanted to work. Some people have bills and they have to work.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think maybe he shouldn't have been making cars because, again, with the economy crumbling at the moment, who's going to buy a car? But we need parts. So I'm 50-50 right there. I have no issue with them being open, but I think, okay, they could have closed. So.
There's, again, it's hard to judge on Twitter because you get people on both extremes of the totem pole, right? There's someone on Twitter who said they were working at the factory, and I tried looking up their profile and did as much of investigation work as I could before I got bored to see if they actually worked at the factory or not. But they're saying that there is pretty good conditions, like they're taking it serious, and they're pretty happy to still be working there. So I don't know, take that for what it will.
Usually people on an assembly line are not right next to each other. Yes, they're touching the cars, but they're distant from each other.
Yeah, and that's a good thing with that, definitely. And I think before the whole shutdown, he was saying, or there were reports that people that were not essential, like the office people and people that could have worked from home, were already exercising that option. So yeah, that's a good thing. Now, you know, they're going to help out as much as they can. Apparently, they're going to take this time to retool and make things more efficient. So when everything does come back up and running, and it will, hopefully they can bring those numbers up very, very quickly to where they left off, and if not, even excel make those numbers even higher. So
I'll give them credit on one thing, right? Think about it this way. How many companies have shut down or are still partially running where the important people are not showing up to work? Like Elon Musk is still there. He's still at the factory. He's still working. So at least give him some credit. He's not saying, hey, go home or whatever. He's not forcing them to come to work, and he's
he's one, not going to the office. So yeah.
So at least give him credit on that, right? He's still showing up, and
it seems like from what you said, Brian, and I don't want to dwell too much on this whole crisis that's going on, but it sounds like in North Carolina, where you are, I think you alluded to it earlier, that it's there, everyone knows about it, but it isn't like a state of emergency or any big, huge thing there. I mean, it's on people's minds, and like you said, everyone's practicing things. Whereas up here in Canada, the three of us live in the province of Ontario, and it's basically a state of emergency. A lot of things, I should be careful how I say this. A lot of things, they say a lot of things are shut down and it's essential service, but then the government put out a list of what was, and like really, basically, other than clothing stores, it seems like everything else is open. And I don't know if I agree with that, but like I said, I don't want to get political, but you know, they're shutting down where they need to shut down, and Tesla will. They also said, just in closing in this topic, is that they have enough money to last for a while, and you know, go through this shutdown storm or the crisis. And
I thought they were going bankrupt. That's what I hear on the news.
Yeah.
7 times already.
Seven times a day. Yeah. Okay. The news is out of the way, and like I said, I didn't want to touch on it too much because a lot of the news with everything going on is this crisis thing going on globally. What I want to touch on and what I want to leave the rest of the show for, and we got about another half hour if we're going to keep the show within the hour range, and if I don't keep rambling, is we want to talk about Brian and his experience with Bobby. And when I say Bobby's the Model Y.
Yes.
Yes, that beast behind you there.
It's behind me too.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, you got it.
Car.
Yes, that's right. I should have noticed the wheels. Now, speaking of wheels, in your video, and folks, if you're listening to this, or even if you're watching this after the fact, if you haven't checked out, I mean, I know you've all heard of Brian and you've all watched his videos, and you're all subscribers. And if you're not, you're dead to me. You better subscribe.
We're not all subscribed.
Yeah.
40,900. Yeah.
Yes.
Is it up to that now? Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yes, you
Thank
passed the 40 mark. Congratulations, buddy. What I'm trying to say, though, if you're remotely interested about the Model Y, you have to check out his channel. In the past week, have you slept, Brian? I meant to ask you, have you slept in this past week? Other than the one video? Yeah. Okay.
Slept in the Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you just watch the camping video, Dax?
Yes.
Hold on, my headphones are going dead. Let me switch to different headphones.
Okay.
But yeah, I did sleep in the Y.
Yes. This is live video, folks. Live streaming. This is what happens.
Ouch. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. They're not coming through the headphones, but I did sleep in the Y, and let me see if I can go to the settings here. Sorry for everyone. My
No problem.
AirPods don't have a good battery.
Brian has a video. What I was basically trying to say is, in the past week, Brian's put out at least probably about 10 videos. I would hazard to guess. He's put out a lot of videos like in the past week and whether they're just regular YouTube videos where they've come out at a certain time, or live videos, live streams, some long, some short. If you want to know anything about the Model Y, I mean, there's a lot of good channels. Like I said, we had Ryan on last week, and he's a wealth of information. But Brian has so much hands-on, even sleeping in the car, like we were just alluding to there. Like, he's got so much information just in the past week alone, and he's taken wheels off. He's done so much to the car, not to the car. I know tomorrow. Can you still hear his Brian? Yeah,
But his mic is off.
Oh, his mic's off.
Okay. But he can hear us.
Okay. While Brian goes and gets that sorted out. Yeah, he's and he'll
All right, got him finally.
You got him? Oh, perfect.
Yeah, Brian's done everything to the car that Mark has not.
And Mark's had his car so long. Yes, you got to catch up to Brian now, Mark. And tomorrow, you're taking your car to get a PPF tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I got to actually text him, but it's kind of late now. But yeah, I'm supposed to anyway.
Yeah.
I spent all day buffing the car, correcting all the paint, which needed a lot of work. So the paint's not very good.
Yes, and you know what? While we're there, let's talk about that. It was one of the questions I was going to ask you, because you brought that up in your live video.
Mm-hmm.
How bad was it? And I know you said it was sitting.
Yeah, on the sticker it says November, but it doesn't say the date when it was built. So I think it was sitting, and maybe it was on the top of the truck when it came out here. But everything on the top of the car had like little stuff embedded in the paint and the clear coat. And so it really just a clay bar got all that stuff off. And then I noticed a ton of scratches, especially on the deck lid where I removed the spoiler. There was just little scratches everywhere. It came off really easily. I just used a cheap little correcting cream. It wasn't even really a compound, and all the scratches came out. But it looked really good now.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it even looked good in the videos before, but yeah, I can imagine the videos probably don't do it justice. It's probably awesome now. Yeah. Okay. Would you say it was better or worse than the 3 when you got the 3?
My 3 was actually really good. Although it's white. It was white, so you really can't tell.
It's hard.
You just see a lot more on the black, or midnight silver. It's hard to say, but a lot of people have been complaining about the paint. It's almost like they painted it out in the desert and in that tent and left a door open. There was a lot of dust.
Yeah.
But it all came out. or
Okay.
most of it came out.
Chris from Dirty Tesla, he said that the paint was fine. These card nerds are way too picky.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, wait till he sees my video tomorrow. He'll like it. It's definitely dirty.
It
Definitely like his video tomorrow.
It doesn't look dirty right now behind you.
Well, no.
Just kidding. The video from whenever you.
Yes,
filmed
all
it.
those videos I put out were all filmed over the weekend.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm getting back to. Like you just hammered out the videos, which is good. Like get it all out of the way, especially when you were up at Kyle's place at the track, right? I mean, I guess you got. Is it far from where you are? And
it's about 3-hour drive.
okay, yeah. So
3.5 hour drive with charging.
it totally makes sense then. It makes sense that
I think we filmed like 10 videos.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Mark, you got your work cut out. You got to start on those videos. I don't think I've done 10 videos last year at all in total.
Yeah, but one of your videos
I have
is
like
probably like
60. No, I have like almost 70 videos now. Okay.
But hold on a second. One of Dax's videos is probably
I know where you're going.
like 5 of Brian's, 5 of Mark's, probably like 35 of mine.
Yes. I talk a lot. I know I ramble a lot.
Then he goes, well, no one else is talking. Well, I wonder why.
Yes. No. Hey, listen, guys. I know you're teasing me and everything, and it's fully deserved. But no, when I'm talking on these podcasts or in general, guys, if you feel that you need to cut me off or get a point in, I won't take it.
Dax, okay, let's stop.
Yeah, exactly. Just perfect example.
Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest, right? I think everyone brings like a different perspective or to YouTube, and I really like your videos, Dax. I like that you ramble on. Like it gives me something to listen to. And
okay,
great.
so
like,
Brian, this show is not about me. This show's about Brian and you guys. Right? It's
I can't
best.
believe on how the Model 3 really pulled away from it. I thought they would be a lot closer, but I think you make a good point when you say software update.
Well, also, I totally forgot about Kyle has the light 18-inch wheels on that. And that was a huge difference in the Y when we did the launches.
Yeah.
So I think that's that with software, because we both felt that the Y was sluggish when it took off, but it had more top end. So I think they're just babying a little bit, and then I think it'll be really good.
Yeah, you guys are nailing all my points that I meant to talk about. But yeah, no. Go ahead.
But it is like what? How many pounds is it on the Y? Close to 5,000 and change, right? Or
44.
Yeah, it wasn't that much more than the 3.
oh, really? Wow.
No, yeah, the 3 is about close to 41, and the Y is 44. So about 300-400 pounds difference.
I think
that's my fault for not doing my research.
I think you mentioned it too in your video. I think they don't want to kill the sales of the 3 if the Y is quicker, bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're looking at your video, Brian, when in that acceleration, that race between the two. Yeah, you can see how and I guess Kyle was driving, right? If I'm not
yes,
in the 3.
He did get a little jump, but not much at all.
No, not much. It was almost even.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it accelerated at the beginning, yeah, and knowing that they're both, correct me if I'm wrong, they're both the same motors in both cars, right?
They're both the same motors, both the same batteries, but my wheels were 24 pounds heavier per wheel.
Yes.
So I think that has to do with it. Plus, that's a lot of rolling resistance there.
It's
a lot of weight.
12-pound difference.
Sorry, so Kyle was in the 3 and you were in the Y, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and
so and obviously you're not heavier guy, but 6.
We're about the same.
6'6"?
We're about the same.
We were close to the same weight, but his wheels are a lot lighter. The car's a little bit lighter. It's a huge difference. We should have done the same test. Like I did the quarter mile I did the 0 to 60 in those 18s, and it was a lot quicker. I got 3.23 seconds.
Yeah, so you almost shaved off probably almost close to 0.3, 0.2 seconds off, and that's just wheels.
It's just wheels and tires. They were smaller wheels and tires. They're 18s, but the tires are 2 inches shorter than the Model Y.
Yeah, and like you said, weight, right? Weight's everything.
Yeah.
So just the way it pulled away, getting back to that, I picture the video in my head, how it pulled away so fast that, pardon me, it pulled away so fast, but then it just stopped. And then both of you guys were like linear, like you're not, when I say side by side, there was nobody was gaining an advantage. Nobody was slipping behind it. You guys were like almost identical. And like you said, when you're showing those draggy times,
we were a mile an hour difference at the finish.
Yeah. And then you showed that curve, and you can see that to me, that was the definitive thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you put that power curve on it, and how you saw the Y, and you even put it up with the X, and you saw how the Y was slow at the beginning. Yeah. That can only be, in my opinion, my uneducated opinion, that can only be attributed to software.
It's software, because we actually we put the car in dyno mode. That's how Kyle was able to drift it around the track, and on his wheels, not mine. But we launched it there, and it felt a little quicker, but we forgot to do that test. It was running late.
Yeah,
I'll have to do that.
I think that's probably the only test you guys didn't do. You had so many other tests.
He thinks about it. Yeah, we did everything else.
No, well,
pretty much.
Yeah, I think the only thing you didn't do is like a drop test, like a self.
I'm not going to do a drop test, but
not.
There's another test coming tomorrow that everyone will like.
Yeah.
Will it blend? You ever see that guy?
I didn't blend it, but
I didn't blend it.
I just think too, because of the nose, that the drag resistance on it, on the Y compared to the 3.
I think the coefficient's really similar.
Really? I feel when I saw the Y live, the front of it was, I just felt it was a little bit longer. All right.
I think they're very similar.
Yeah, people say that, and I haven't had a chance to see them side by side and actually concentrate on that part of it. I mean, I've seen them side by side, not in person, but I'm wondering, because a lot of people are saying that the Y's nose is a lot more pronounced than the 3. But I don't know, maybe only because it's taller, so it has more pronunciation to it. If that's,
did you say pronunciation?
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a word. I'm making it come up and they go, oh, buddy.
Okay, in Dax's defense, it's actually a Canadian word.
Sure.
Oh, you mean the word pronunciation? It is actually a word. I just don't know if it was in the proper discussion, if that's actually usable.
I think I don't know. The car, I think the coefficient of drag is close. I think the Model 3 is slipperier because this thing sits up so much higher. But I don't think the nose has much to do with it.
No. And you know what? To get a drag coefficient in a SUV or CUV, whatever you want to say, as low as it is, it's amazing. What I'm going to be curious to see, and I think actually, you know what? Now thinking about it, I think one of you guys, I don't know if it was Mark or Franklin or somebody might have talked about it. You know, in the 3, I know you don't get a lot of snow down there in North Carolina, Brian, but in the 3, in the winter, that whole back end gets, and I've got a picture. I didn't even know I was going to talk about it, but I got a picture when I went to Montreal a couple months ago, where the whole back end, including the license plate, taillights, everything gets just covered, and that's the aerodynamic part of it. I'm wondering if the Y is similar.
It will get very dirty.
Yeah, it's all you've noticed that already.
In our testing tomorrow, it gets really, really dirty. All that dust and everything just attaches to the back of the back of everything. It's dirty.
I was right. I know what it is.
You'll enjoy it.
It's dirty. You hear that, Chris? It's dirty.
And it's not sleeping in the car or anything. Kyle didn't join me this time.
You guys did come down to California together.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. We had separate hotels, though.
Yes. I wasn't even going there. But anyways, let's go back to the beginning part.
No, he didn't say separate. He said several. They went to several.
falling off the rails. Let's go to the beginning, Brian. Your delivery day. Walk us through your experience or the day itself, and keep in mind with everything going on with the personal distance and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't really notice anything like that when we picked it up Thursday.
Did anyone shake your hand?
No.
Just kidding. Okay.
No, we gave elbows.
Is that the new thing? Elbows?
Yeah, I guess so. Elbows and feet. But no, I walked straight in the garage door that's right behind the car there. We didn't have to go in the front door, but I've been there so much that everyone knows me. And I was actually there the day before. So I wanted to see the car. Just so happened I was able to bump my delivery up. My delivery was actually scheduled for Sunday, and I asked to have it earlier. And they wanted me to have the first delivery, which is really cool. So it was just quick in and out, really.
Cool. Now that made it being the first delivery. Yeah. If you'd waited Sunday, it wouldn't have been.
If I'd have waited 3 more hours, it wouldn't have been.
Oh wow!
That blue one that was next to me was supposed to be delivered at 5 o'clock.
Oh, and you were having none of that.
I couldn't have that.
No, you know what? Like those 3 days when you're a YouTuber makes a big difference.
Well, yeah, I mean, it made a huge difference.
3 hours.
No, but I mean,
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, because we left and went straight to the racetrack. We left, went straight to the supercharger, fully charged it, and did the road test.
Yeah.
Or the range test, I should say.
Cool. And did they go through the whole showing you around orientation, or they know it's you, so they didn't even bother?
He didn't really show me anything. I need everything that was in the video. That's the only things he showed me.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And actually, he was wrong on. I was supposed to change something. He got called by someone at Tesla. When you close the trunk, you don't go really wide with it. It's more narrow.
Just like the 3.
Yeah, he texted me and he said, "Could you change that video?" I got a phone call about that. So
wow,
which isn't a huge deal, but I'm just glad they're watching these deliveries and making sure they're doing everything right.
I was going to say that is a huge deal. Not a huge deal the fact that he did that, but it's a huge deal that means is somebody high up in Tesla's watching your video.
Well, I think they're just watching the deliveries and how they go. Yeah, and it's just the PR stuff, which is great.
Yeah, no, it's actually a really cool thing that they're watching your clip, watching the delivery, and then they know where to correct, right? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, they are watching my videos because they added something to the car that I did. The back seat or the back door.
Yes. Yeah. They should have the back door. Yes, that's right. In the little cubby. Yes.
I didn't even get a footnote in the owner's manual for that.
No, they and I remember when you did that, if anyone has no idea what we're talking about, Brian had done a video in a Model 3 a while back for like an emergency. I'm probably saying this wrong, Brian. You tell what it was.
It's actually I got the idea from a subscriber. I get a lot of my videos from subscribers. They email me questions that they've seen or something they saw on Reddit or something like that, and they'll ask me to do it. Like the ski pass through, that was something on Reddit, and someone told me to do it. I don't do everything I'm told, but I decided to pull the door panel off, and there was a cable there for emergency release because there's just a button back there, and I thought that was kind of weird. So now Tesla has added it to the Model Ys. I almost said Model 3, but they've added it to the Model Ys. It's a little harder to get to than mine, but I think it's good. Yeah,
you really got to know where it's there, and is there a little flap or something you got to pull off?
You have to pull the rubber thing out of the bottom of the cup holder, and then there's a plastic tab that you pull.
See, I watch all your videos and all the crazy modifications you do to your cars. Like, I really appreciate what you do. I personally can never do it to my own car because I don't have the skill or the.
So you don't do anything to your car. You call other people to do it.
That's right. Well, I do mostly software related stuff to my car, right? I'm big on software modification, but not hardware. So I really appreciate all the stuff you do. And I remember watching that one. I'm like, this was the first video I watched of yours where I was like, man, maybe I should actually do this one. I can really see the use of this, right? So this is the first one where I actually like consider taking apart my car and doing it. But
well, 2 days after I launched that, Elon did tweet that the cars have redundant power anyway. So, and I did test that feature, and it does. But just in case, I mean, I mean, people with kids back there. I mean, that's especially big kids. You can't climb through the front seat.
No.
No.
So I found that very interesting. That, and I was going to bring that up. That after you made that video last year on year 3, then Elon responded, and I don't know if you felt it or if it just that's how it was, that it almost took the wind out of your sail type of thing. But then he goes and puts this in. So it's like, was he even, not to say he was lying or anything, because you said you tested it out, but it's like, it just goes to give some validity to what you did. And how long goes that? Is it a year ago or more?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm not saying that Elon himself is watching my videos, but someone brought it to his attention, probably on Twitter or one of the employees.
Yeah.
I don't even think Elon knows who I am, but I think it's really cool that they do pay attention to people that do things to their cars and make them better, or they make them worse, but they actually do change things.
See, yeah. I don't know. I think I'd be kind of shocked if Elon didn't watch YouTube content based off Tesla.
I don't think he has time.
Yeah,
true.
He's only a Twitter guy. He said it's before.
Unless his car really is full self-driving and he does that while he drives.
I don't know. Like I see what you're saying, but like he's so involved with the whole process of everything. I wouldn't be shocked if you watch like some of the top guys such as yourself that do really cool things.
I think people bring stuff to his attention, because I do know some engineers watch my channel. They told me at certain events, but I think when there's something is like that, they bring it to him and say, "Look at this," and he only watches it for a short little time, and then he'll comment on it or say it's stupid or something. But he does get to see them.
Yeah,
the important ones anyway.
Yeah, well, no, they've and that's what I like. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm liking with the Y. It's and somebody said it before. It's the Y is basically the 3 perfected, or maybe not even perfected, because no car's gonna be perfect. I'm not saying that, but greatly improved. I mean, amplified. Yeah. Other than the design and shape, obviously, it take a lot from the 3. But you look at the stuff that they've changed. Wireless charging, they threw that in.
USB-C.
USB-C. Chrome.
Auto lift gate.
Yeah, the trunk. How is that, by the way, Brian? That's pretty cool. Very useful.
It's pretty nice. It's short. I hit my head on it.
Yeah, well,
I am a giant.
Yes.
Mine needs to be adjusted, but I have an appointment Monday for that. But it's pretty nice. I like how it goes up slow at first, so it doesn't shake, because the Model X will kind of shake a little bit. So it goes up slow and then speeds up. But it's nice. The Model Y is a good. It's like a little baby of the X and the 3. I think it's I think it's the perfect car Tesla makes right now for a family. Yeah. It's got the best of everything.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm really liking it. It was one of the things when they first revealed it over a year ago. It was one of those things where I wasn't too impressed, and it was one of those things where I said I'm going to have to see it in person, and I've yet to see it. I know everyone here. Obviously, you have your own, but the other 2 guys, they got to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but you know what? From what I've seen in the videos and from what everyone's talking about, it's one of the things where I can say that I probably don't need to see it. I could actually probably get it, but I think I'm waiting for the SR, in my opinion, the SR Plus. If hopefully they make such an animal, I don't see why they wouldn't. So I'm going to wait for that. But you were talking about you're taking it into for them to adjust your trunk.
Yeah, there's little things that need to be fixed on it. It's a very early VIN number, so I expected that. Yeah. But I wanted to shoot all the videos and then take it back.
Yeah. Okay. Which brings me.
Did you ever share, or will you share the VIN, like the passport, whatever was it?
Yeah, it's 409. I shared it.
Yeah. 409. Okay. Mm-hmm. 409. Wow. Because the one I looked at here in Toronto, which was the Tesla truck. Their engineering truck was 603. Wow.
Yeah, they build them in order. People always get this mistaken. They build the cars in order of the VIN numbers. They just don't deliver them in the order that they build them. So mine was. That's why I think the paint was so bad, because it was sitting for so long.
I think too
Yeah.
that the one that we saw, Mark, the panel gaps on it were really bad. So I think maybe they said, "Hey, this is a good testing vehicle because, like,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah,
And you
why-
guys-
No, it would like my finger could go through the trunk like
Oh,
this.
wow.
It was bad.
No, the panel gaps are right. I mean, they're very good. The only I want them to adjust the driver's side fender. It needs to go up a little bit to match the quarter panel, and then the trunk, and that's it. Everything else is really, really good.
Nice.
You guys are psychic, or I don't know. You guys watching my screen? Okay, I'll check that one off. I was going to ask Brian about so I don't need to anymore.
No, it's actually really everything was even because you know the 3 wasn't great, and I've seen some newer 3s that still aren't great, but this car was actually really good.
do you think it has anything to do with like them knowing it's you? I'm not
No.
trying to like.
I don't get any special treatment. I mean, I
No.
get some at the Tesla dealership there in Charlotte because they know me.
Yeah.
And that's why they pushed me to get the first one. But you know, I don't get any. I don't think they know it's mine until it's built, and because they don't assign a VIN number to you until after it's already done.
Yeah, they're not like, hey, this is for Brian.
Because I got my VIN number. I went down there Thursday. I got my VIN number Wednesday, and I picked it up Thursday. Did I say that right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it wasn't like I've had it for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, no, I wasn't like questioning it. It was more so like for clarification because I know some people probably think that.
Yeah. I'm sure some people get some special treatment.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Some of the bigger channels, but I don't.
Okay, not yet. Anyway, still get there.
Hopefully, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, like I said, you deserve it. So
Yeah. You got how? I mean, I don't want to. I'll just say you got the most balls out of any YouTuber I know, the Tesla influencer, for the stuff you do, man.
I appreciate it.
I remember when you were just a few weeks ago when you had your 3 for sale, and you put it out there and you put it on. I think it was Twitter. I'm pretty sure it was Twitter. And somebody commented and you replied. I love your reply. I forget what it was now, but I love your reply. But someone commented said, "Who's gonna buy that with a big hole in the back seat?" And I was like, "Really?"
I replied that was the best modification I did.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly. I loved your reply. That's
And
exactly.
it actually was. I really enjoyed having that. It didn't make any noise at all, which is great. But putting anything in there, I'm tall, but I had to move the front seat up just to lay those seats down, and this made it so I can just fit something right in there.
Yeah, because I remember, if I remember your video correctly, at that time you were still doing the woodworking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you need that room now. Speaking of how you wish you got some kind of footnote in the owner's manual for that.
I was joking about that.
I know, but you should have gotten it for the armrest that comes down in the back seat. Now I get it. I know a lot of SUVs have that, but not in a 3 and not in the Y, which is the basically the kid of the 3. So I think you should have got a credit.
Big brother.
The big brother, or the big baby brother, maybe, because it came after. Okay. Speaking of the back seat and stuff like that, the interior space. I saw that your video where you got your daughter and you sat in there and you got her take and you showed everyone in all 3 different cars.
That was difficult, not to shoot, but to get my daughter to be on video.
Oh, she's
going to make more in revenue than I will on that video.
You had to pay her, eh?
Yes, I did.
Is that the first video she's been in?
The first video she was in was she was 16. She had her temps and she was driving the Model 3 and then the Model S. And I kind of just shot her from behind her head from the back seat because she says there's too many creeps online, so she doesn't really want to be on video. But now she's 18, so I guess she doesn't care.
Yeah, that makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, let's not go down this path. Anyway,
now I noticed in the video when you sat in the X and then you sat in the Y, your knees seemed lower.
In the Y, yes.
In the Y than once again, is that we talked so many about it last week with the risers and everything like that. Is that it? Are the risers higher in the Y? I'm wondering.
I think it's just the way the seats have to be in the X because that roof is so thick.
Yes.
That pillar in the middle is gigantic. And when you do close the door, I feel claustrophobic in there, but I don't really sit back there very much. But it's totally different in the Y. The glass roof makes it feel bigger, but I have more room in my arm up against the door as well.
Yeah, the arm room seems so much different between the Y and the X.
Mm-hmm.
The minute, like, you can tell even before the door came down that you're ready, like...
Yeah, I had to move over.
Yeah, you can tell you had to move over. Like, you can tell the difference even with the door wide open. It's substantial.
Now, your X, is it the 6 or the 7?
The 5-seater.
The 5, okay.
Mm-hmm. So I just have the bench.
The bench, okay. So disregard. I was thinking a reason why it might have been close, but that blows my theory out of the water. Never mind. But no, yeah, you know what? I didn't, and it wouldn't bother me because I'm nowhere close to your height. But I did notice, and it's something I didn't think about. Also, I don't have an X, so maybe that's why I didn't notice. But when you were shooting that video, and you're showing how close your head was to that center bar, I guess it is, on the ceiling. Yeah, that would probably, it wouldn't. I mean, yeah, you're 6'5", but even for most people that are just average height, 5'10", 6 feet, I could see that being claustrophobic-y.
I mean, once you're in there, it's not bad because it's black in the car, but I can't sit in the center seat. My head will be, I'll have to sit like this, like walking down an airplane.
Is that how you walk down an airplane?
Yeah.
Right?
I have to pretty much bend over to walk through an airplane. Once
again, I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
No, but that's watching your video for the interior stuff was with a wealth of information. That's great to know that anyone that's worrying about the back seat configuration or the back seat space, because I mean, when people are buying these cars, especially SUVs, they're buying them with majority of people are buying them with kids in mind, like a family, a young family, and multiple kids. I mean, I've heard already of questions asked in my Canadian Model Y group on Facebook. People are wondering if they'll be able to fit 2 car seats in there comfortably. Because
I think Raj did a video on that where he sat him in the middle, and he's not tiny. I met him. He came out here for business, and we had dinner. And with 2 car seats, I think the Model Y is wider than the 3, so there's more room.
Yeah. Once again, it seems like every episode of this podcast we do, Raj's name comes up, and whether it's me bringing him up or somebody else bringing him up. And Raj, I got to get your ass on this podcast. I mean, I know you're locked in with Trevor on contract or whatever, but I don't care anymore. You got to come on this podcast at least just once.
He has exclusive contracts with Trevor. I'm sorry.
I think so, but you know what? I don't care. Trevor, you have to loan him out for free. I make him sound like property. We're talking about back seats, and and not even that. Like, okay, the whole.
Some people. I was gonna say you're going on a list of why people buy it. So some people buy it for their kids. Some people buy it to store things. Then you have some people that are. What's that? Sorry.
Nothing. Go ahead. Some
people just buy it because they think like they're some backseat baller or something.
Oh yeah. Well, any person would buy it for. Never mind.
That was terrible.
Look, he's lowering his hat. He's like, I don't want to be seen right now.
He's going to dim the light very slowly to black. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, some people buy it for like they just want the space and they want that foldable seats and have that hatch. Now, speaking of folding the seats and the hatch and everything like that, Brian, I noticed yours, and it could be because it's an early VIN. When you press those buttons, it didn't go down originally. Yeah. Now, could that be chalked up because it was new too and everything's stiff?
No, they don't work. They worked when I picked it up, but they don't work now. I have that on the list as well.
Okay, that's good.
There's a long list of little things, but it's a long list.
Yeah, we might as well get them fixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a reason, any haters listening or watching, it's not a reason not to buy it. It's just you're going to get these with every little car any car you buy.
I expect thumbs down the video. Okay, you hear that?
Sorry?
The person who thumbs down this podcast, you hear that? There's no reason not to buy it. We know you're here.
I think they already did that.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, that's what he's talking about. Anyways, that aside, what I was going to talk about also with the seats folding down, have you noticed, has it affected, how should I put it? Has it bothered you that it doesn't have a cover for the back?
No.
No.
I thought there'd be a lot of noise, but there's not. I think with the double storage areas, that stops all the noise from coming through the cabin, and it's actually quieter than the 3, I've noticed. I'm going to kind of do a test on that, but I don't have a 3 anymore, so I'll have to borrow someone's. But it doesn't bother me. You really can't see much back there anyway.
Because it's that factory tint, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting tomorrow. You're gonna get the 2 front doors tinted too.
I'm going to get those tinted. I'll get the windshield tinted as well, or clear. That'll help with noise. And then I haven't decided yet on the top glass.
Yeah, you're saying that glass. I mean, I haven't seen it. I haven't been in it, and I know these guys have seen the car, but they haven't been in it. Mm-hmm. How's it look? Is it as awe-inspiring as it looks?
I mean, it looks like the Model S. The Model S with the full glass, it looks just like that, but it's curved more than that. So it is going to be hard to tint because it's a lot of shrinking of material. But it's really nice. It was nice laying underneath it, watching the clouds, because the night I slept in it, there wasn't the stars out, but it was cool to see the clouds roll by.
Cool.
And all the mosquitoes trying to bounce off the glass, trying to get in and get me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing I want to talk about. Well, a couple more things, and then we'll get out here. We're at hour 6 minutes already. The wheels. I know we touched on it. How heavy they were. Mm-hmm. I know you and Kyle are big wheel guys, and I wish I had Ian here, Pavelko, the wheel expert. Are those when you said they were 68 pounds? And I know
with the tires.
With tires, but still, that's for a 21 inch. Is that pretty heavy?
I think it is. I'm actually talking with a company to make some custom lightweight wheels, and they're actually making them right now for it.
Wow.
The reason these are heavy is because the design to make them more efficient. You need more material. The less material you have, the more wind.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's why. That's what he told me anyway, and so I'm getting some really lightweight 21s that we're going to road test. Yeah,
that's why they have those on the S, the arachnids, and then which looks very similar on the performance package wheels for the 3 that just came out. They look very arachnid-ish too, and they're very skimpy on material. And I'm sure I've never weighed them or heard anyone weigh them. But I'm sure.
I'm actually going to try a bunch of different tires, or wheels and tires. There's different brands. Those 18s, I'm going to try a set of those, I believe. I'm talking with him to do a road test, and I want to try everything possible for the tires, because those things are way too heavy. Yeah, they're performance wheels.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Yeah. Now you said in your video you did the Martian wheels, right?
Yes.
What company is that? I've never heard of that before.
I really haven't, but they sent those wheels to Kyle to test out.
Kyle's, okay.
And they're really nice. They're custom made as well, and they fit over the performance brakes, so you can run 18s on the performance cars. And
those are 18s. I thought they were 18s. Okay, cool. Are you going to do any what ifs?
Yeah, probably eventually. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will.
Okay,
I need to bring that back. A lot of people want those.
Yeah, those. I liked your what ifs. Yeah. Now, I meant to ask you this, and this is going to sound dumb. This is a dad question. I know we're all dads here, but not frankly. But in speaking of that, what if that intro you have, is that what's his face? That rapper guy? Oh no, yeah. I'm drawing a blank now.
He's running for president here. Kidding.
Okay, fill me in, guys. I'm drawing a blank on his name. The one married to the Kardashians. That guy?
Kanye West.
Kanye. It is right?
That's his video. It's It's the video, but it's a song that someone sent me.
Okay, but it's his.
I just mashed them together.
Okay, so it's not his song.
No, it's not his song.
Okay. See,
But they were dressed up like Box Boy, which is actually right there. Part of Box Boy is back there.
Yeah.
And I haven't have him in a video in a while either, but that's why I made that.
Oh, cool. I was gonna ask you about Box Boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's gonna come make a comeback.
Oh, good. He's gonna take one for the team, is he?
Actually, yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. Cross that one off my list. Box Boy. Or what if? And the last thing, did you guys see? Was it last night or the night before that that guy Green on Twitter? He found some code, I guess, because he's always looking at code, and he found some heated part or some heater associated with the radar, the front radar. Did you guys see that, or did I dream it?
Yeah.
No, I saw the article. I didn't read it though.
Yeah. Basically, now, once again, this may be my problem, not your problem, Brian. But in the Great White North, after you're driving down a road and it's snowing like a SOB after a while, you get buildup of snow and ice, especially if it's wet snow, and it clogs up it blocks the radar. And if you're on autopilot, not to say that you should be on autopilot, but if you are, even on cruise control, that goes away real quick once that radar can't see anything, which makes sense. But the whole thing with, full self-driving and snow, it's one of those hurdles. But now it seems like Tesla's found a solution for that. So that one area where the radar is going to be in the front nose is not going to take on snow or ice, which is good. I don't know if that's ever going to be an issue for you, Brian. I don't know how much snow. I know you get a little bit of snow there, right?
We had 1 day of snow this year.
And was it melted the next day?
That same day.
The same day. Yeah.
Why asking these questions?
Sorry?
Well, I don't want to be hearing this stuff from him.
Usually we get like a week or two of snow, but it turns to ice here.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, but everything shuts down because there's no plow trucks here. But I'm actually from Cleveland, Ohio, so I'm used to snow.
Oh, yeah.
So I know what you're going through, or some of it anyway.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's it. Do you guys have any questions for Brian while I go through these comments to see if there's any questions? I really should have been paying better attention.
I think we've.
I have one.
Yes.
Don't know if he wants to answer it or not, but
no, he doesn't have to answer it.
Yeah, we'll see. Do you have any modifications to the Y that you plan on doing?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to divulge that yet.
Brian, I think what Frank was trying to ask you, is there any modifications that you don't have planned? Because it's probably a shorter list.
Is there anything like, how do we, I was going to word the question originally, like, is there anything you'd change? But if there's anything that you change if you're Tesla, I mean, you're going to change it anyway, because I know how you operate. So,
well, I can't really get into too much, but I am working with some, the automatic trunks and frunks. I'm working with Handshow to help develop that. I found the struts. They're way down below. They're going to be hard to get to, but I got to measure them for them. That's one little thing that I can tell you.
You found them?
Yeah.
It's just tucked under the plastic?
Yeah, I think they just move up a rolling mechanism instead of attached to the trunk itself or the frunk.
Okay.
So it's a little smoother anyway. It's just really hard to get to.
Do you think anything will be as big as the big hole you cut it in the back of your 3?
Well, there's only 3 people that did that I know of anyway. I have some pretty big plans for the car.
Okay. All right.
That'll happen later on. There's got to be some development on those.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you wanted to how should I put it? I don't want to give away your secrets. Yeah. And I understand why you're so tight-lipped, because you don't want to say something you're going to do and then you can't do it for a week or two, or you can't do it till it's warmer, and then somebody goes and scoops your idea.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
No, that's why I said it. Even before I asked the question, I made sure I'm like, you're probably not going to answer this anyway, but I'll ask regardless, right?
I mean, there's going to be some really cool things that I'm doing recently. I mean, I'm wrapping the car in PPF, and then after that cures, I'm going to be working with the Tesla Bros. I'm going to go out to his new facility, and we're going to do a custom wrap. He's going to print the wrap, and we'll do it there. And he's actually got some good plans for that for everyone else as well, for his business, which is a really good business. Tesla Bros are awesome.
Yeah,
I know.
And that's the major thing you're going to see on the outside, is other than wheels. But then it will change a little bit.
Yeah, G's a really good guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
I really like him.
is he nearby you?
He's in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is
Okay, so it's
not too far. But we kind of got to wait because everything's got to settle down anyway.
yeah. Oh, speaking of things that may have changed, on the side markers, the turn signals.
Yeah.
Does yours have the T engraved on it?
No.
Because somebody did say they saw one with a T engraved on it.
So when I was at Lawrence seeing the Y that was here, it
Yeah.
had it.
Okay, maybe it was you.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
pointed
that's
it out.
why I didn't make a note about it between the 3 and the Y, because it was the same.
Yeah, because when I was doing the live stream, I'm like, I just watched Brian's video, and he said it didn't have a T, and this one does.
Yeah.
So
And no, the ones I've seen that are customers like Brian's doesn't have it. So with yours being a beta, the one you saw at Lawrence being a beta, or we'll call it a test car, whatever, and it actually did, and now finding out it has a higher VIN than Brian's, that's interesting.
I don't know, it's confusing, right?
Interesting, yeah.
It is weird.
Yeah.
But they did change some things. I took off the Tesla logos on the front and the back.
Yeah. I saw that.
Imagine that. I did
With
something
the
already.
holes.
Imagine
There's
that.
there's holes in the front and the back, which
Yeah.
really suck. I knew they were on the front because I saw OC Detailing's video, but when I pulled it off the back, there's 2 holes there as well.
Yeah, it's almost like they did it intentionally so detailers can't take it off. But yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, because if you take those off, people don't really know what the car is. So
Yeah.
it's Tesla's interest to actually have those on there.
yeah, that's probably, you bring up a good point. It's probably why.
No, I think everyone knows what our cars are without that T.
No, you'd be amazed, Mark. So
Right,
many
yeah, there's
people
so many
have
people.
no idea.
Mhm.
How many people have come up to you and said, what's the miles per gallon on that? Or a lot of people know a Tesla is an electric car, but they'll ask, does it take gas and electric? Like,
Well, look, we were at the new Supercharger V3 first time trying it a couple of days ago, Mark and I, and people are coming up to us because I'll smart summoning my car around the lot, right? And people are like, man, what is that thing? And they're asking all sorts of questions because they had no idea, right?
yeah, you're also in London, though. Okay, last question for you, Brian, and then we're gonna get out of here. I think there's one question. Actually,
There's 2 things. I jotted them down as we're going along here.
look at you. Thank you
I
very
know.
much.
The first one was Chris Dirty Tesla. He said, ask Kyle about stop signs and lights when you get a chance. So it's a question, but nothing we can really answer right now.
Mhm.
The only one we have really is the lack of auto dimming side mirrors. How come
Yes.
it's not a thing?
Yes.
You know what? Have you missed that?
I actually didn't know it wasn't there.
Okay, so that answers.
I drove home from the track at midnight and I didn't even notice anything.
Really? Okay.
My theory is because it's higher than the 3.
Oh yeah.
Possibly.
You know,
That's what you mean, yeah.
right? How many SUVs or CUVs really have it?
Well,
Where smaller
Yeah.
cars do.
it's a good point, Mark. Yeah. Yeah. And now, does the X have it, Brian?
I don't know. It
Okay.
might. It probably does.
Sort of put you on the spot.
It probably does.
Yeah.
Brian will be right back, folks. Give him 4
Yeah.
minutes.
Like, most people go for a ride to figure it out. Brian has his whole mirror disassembled. He's like, I'll figure it out this way.
It probably does have it. It's got everything else. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to have it.
I find the X, they loaded every feature possible known to mankind and then some. So you got to imagine it has it, right? Like,
I'm positive it has it.
yeah, I would be too.
Okay. In closing, Brian,
Mhm.
stupid question, but I'm going to ask you anyways. At the end of all this, after having the car for a week, do you recommend the Y to people? That's okay. Two parts. Do you recommend, if you have a 3, upgrading to a Y? And I know there's personal reasons, but overall,
It really depends if you're moving your family around a lot in the car. If it's just your work car, then it depends how big you are in the 3. If you don't mind getting down in the car, I really started to not like that. I did lower my car a little bit, but getting down in the car is a little difficult as you get older. But this is nice, even getting into the car. My dad's 74. I let him sit in it, and it's perfect for him. It's exactly what he would want. So yeah, I think, like you said, everyone's different. Their needs are different. But yes, this is the best Tesla that they make.
Perfect.
The price and the space.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you've heard it here, folks, from the man himself, Brian. He says, buy the Y, especially even if you have a 3.
Yeah.
Quick question here: is the rear view mirror auto dimming?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. It's the same as the 3. It seems like.
Yeah. So it has that black.
So I don't.
That
Well,
film.
the 3 has the dimming in it.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at the car that much for that stuff.
Well, yeah, that question was from YouTube, a guy named John Ayers.
Yeah.
Now, what I can tell you, Brian, you would know firsthand, having owned the car for last week, but I've heard online that the rear view mirror was the same. They kept that the same. They didn't change it. It was just the side mirrors on the doors that they changed. So that's what I was told. So thanks.
I haven't missed it. If anything's missing, I haven't missed anything that I haven't needed it anyway.
Yeah, well, that's good, because I was wondering about the side mirrors, if it would make a difference. That's why I wanted to ask you about that. But if you haven't missed it, buddy, then yeah, then and I like
right behind him. He could take 2 seconds to look.
No. His microphone doesn't reach that
I'm
far.
corded now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wrap this up now, anyways, guys. Brian, thanks very much for coming on again. I appreciate it. No problem. Oh, you don't have to thank me at all. But no, thanks for having us. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for giving us all the insight and all the videos that you've produced in the last week. Now you can get back to your family and get some sleep. Or are you one of these people that sleep like your friend up above you, Mr. 3 hours a night sleep?
No, I sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I sleep, but I try to pump out as many videos as I can, especially with this thing, since I know everyone's stuck at home. Like, some people aren't working, so this is kind of a great opportunity to get their mind off of things.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That's exactly it. I mean, I contemplated doing a podcast this week for the same reason, with everything going on and people being home. And I thought to myself, you know what? If it means that people get their mind taken off the stresses of the real world and stuff like that. Not to say this isn't the real world, but just get our mind preoccupied on something else other than what else it probably occupies people's minds. Then I figured, you know what, not trying to ignore what's going on, but just change it up a little bit. I think it's refreshing for some people, and that's the reason I decided to have you on and have the podcast.
I mean, it's a great opportunity to catch up on podcasts, but also play with your car a little bit. Learn how to buff your car out, to wrap your car. I'm doing the PPF, but I actually want to learn and teach people how to do it as well in the video. It's really hard. I've watched it, so it's something I want to learn.
Yeah, well,
the amount of time I spend in my car, my neighbors already think I'm.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not giving it a shot yourself, Brian. Actually.
Well, I want him to teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
Oh, it is. It is. I tell people, people that ask me about my wrap and get into the price and how long it took and stuff like that. And I tell people, there's a lot of things in life that you can do yourself and save yourself a ton of money. Mm-hmm. And then there's certain things in life, even though it costs a lot of money, that whole saying, you get what you pay for. A lot of respect goes out to people that do PPF and wraps, because it is an art. I mean, yeah, you could do it yourself, but it's a lot of work, and it's a learning curve. And that's coming from someone that's never even tried it, just from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's one of those things that you get what you pay for, and it's worth the money, in my opinion, if you're going to keep your car for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, when you got rid of Bob, did you take the wrap off, or they
Nope.
took it as?
He bought it as is.
Awesome.
He bought everything on it.
Cool. Okay, thanks for coming on again. You guys, thank you guys, Franklin and Mark, for coming on. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. Brian, where can people find you before? I mean, it sounds like a stupid question, but before you go, you want to mention your website or your Twitter or whatever you want to?
It's i1Tesla everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't really understand Facebook as much, but yeah, I'm on Twitter more than Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like Brian.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've noticed you on Facebook.
But you can find me all over YouTube right now. I actually made a playlist of all the Model Y content, so you don't have to search for it.
Oh, you separated it. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So if you want to see any of the 2017 or 27 videos of the Model Y in the last week that Brian's put up, just look for his playlist on his
check
channel.
out tomorrow's video too. It's gonna be fun.
Yes. Can't wait. You've teased us so much about that. I actually can't wait. Franklin, where can people find you? I know what you're gonna say.
What's that? What am I gonna say?
You're gonna say everywhere.
Everywhere. They can find me everywhere. Mother Frunker across pretty much every platform.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Mark, or is it Marcus or Mark, or just
Marco.
Marco? Okay.
Tesla Backseat Baller on YouTube and Trevelin006 on Twitter.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Brian,
Thanks very
much. Pleasure.
Yes.
Thanks for having me on.
We'll have Brian on again as soon as I save up some money to lure him back. And
I didn't get the last check. Where'd you mail it?
I didn't. You know what? I gave it to a guy on a horse, and he said he'd take a while. So he's probably still coming up.
Not allowed across the border. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh yes. And well, it was. Thanks, buddy. Everyone at home, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this, you're probably listening to it on a podcast. But if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. Just Google YouTube for or search YouTube for Tesla Talks, and you'll find a podcast. I try to do it once a week, but if I don't, bear with me because of what's going on and life and family and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. We will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.